In this week's Healthy Living, we're talking about how to keep your thyroid healthy. And to tell us more is Jacqui Fleury, naturopathic doctor. Good morning, Jacqui.
Thanks for having me this morning.
Thanks so much for being here. First, tell us a bit about what your thyroid does.
Well, your thyroid is an integral part of your immune system and part of your endocrine system. So really, essentially, it's what gives us our energy.
All right. And so when people have issues, I mean, this is a whole spectrum of issues, but tell us a bit about what some of those issues can be with thyroid.
Yeah, so typically the thyroid gland will underfunction or it'll go hypothyroid, and there can be many reasons for that to happen, but typically you'll start to feel tired and you'll maybe be gaining weight and maybe you'll be noticing your hair thinning, and sometimes you'll go to your doctor and the blood work will look off, and sometimes it'll look normal, and yet you may have all the signs and symptoms that your thyroid isn't working properly. Which
we are saying as well. I mean, there might be many people out there not diagnosed with this sort of thyroid condition. So what is the most common one?
Yeah. Well, underfunctioning or hypothyroid, and oftentimes there can be a connection with the immune system, and that's a condition called Hashimoto's thyroiditis. And so if the immune system goes overactive, sometimes it'll attack the thyroid gland and prevent it from working properly.
So on the other side of this, what are some strategies that we can keep in mind to mitigate these scenarios?
Well, you know, 70% of your immune system is in your gut, in your digestive tract. And when we're talking about helping to support the immune process and prevent it from attacking the thyroid gland, we want to work the strategies in the digestive tract, in that microbiome in the gut.
And we've brought some examples here as well. Walk us through what we've got here and how we can, I guess, treat our thyroid.
Well, so if you imagine that your gut is like a garden and you're going to have flowers and weeds, and then you've got a terrain or a microbiome that everybody shares together. So what we want to do is we want to fertilize those flowers. We want to keep the good bacteria healthy and vital in your gut. So we would use a probiotic. If we want to weed the garden, we would use broad spectrum antimicrobials that are plant-based typically. And then we also may want to determine, are there foods that we're eating in our daily diet that could be contributing to your immune system being overstimulated or taxed unnecessarily. So there's different tests that we can do, and I brought a food sensitivity test in just to demonstrate that that's one of the things we could do to determine how do we customize our nutrition so that our immune systems aren't overstimulated.
Right, that's very interesting. How does that work?
That is just a finger poke, and that analyzes for anywhere from 120 to 200 different foods that could be bothering your system.
Okay.
Digestive tract.
As we mentioned and touched on already, thyroid conditions can run the spectrum. What are some side effects to thyroid problems?
Well, it's kind of what I talked about. If your thyroid is underfunctioning, so you'll be gaining weight, you'll be tired all the time, your skin maybe, you might have acne or psoriasis or dermatitis, your hair may be thinning, and you may have all those signs and symptoms, and yet you may go see your doctor, they may run the blood work and it look completely fine.
As a naturopathic doctor, when people come to see you and they present these side effects or some of these issues, what do you normally say to them, or what would you prescribe to them?
Well, you know, generally if you have those signs and symptoms, a really great place to start is where we have 100% control, and that's usually over the food that we eat. And that's why we always start with that foundation with the gut, the digestive tract, and making sure that that's 100%, you know, solid, and then going from there.
All right. Jacqui, thank you so much for popping in this morning, telling us a bit more about how to keep our thyroid healthy. Appreciate it.
That's great. Thank you.
You bet.